Okay, so we have different stages of penetration in terms of the relationship depth. Just recently, I think yesterday someone asked me, so is there love in your life? And I said, yes, there is so much love in my life. And then she said, no, I'm asking, I'm not telling you who asked me, but the person asked me that, no, I'm saying, do you have a partner in life? I said, see, I have so many partners with me. She said, no, I'm asking whether you have an intimate relationship. So I said, okay, let's define what an intimate relationship is. If we think that rubbing skin on skin is intimate, then we're absolutely wrong. That is a physical relationship. An intimate relationship is one where you can really share your heart, where you can really open up. If in the last 2 days, we've been able to connect and share and open up so much with each other, so much so that I trust you when I'm going to share something, that you'll take it in the right context. And you're able to trust me that when you open up and share something with me, I will take it in the right context. That means we have an intimate relationship. Is that not true? So intimate relationships have been confused with physical relationships. And which is why people get fascinated by the chemistry that they experience at the start of a certain relationship. They confuse the intimacy with the physicality, not able to maintain the compatibility, not recognizing the stages of differentiation, and then kind of have troubles in marriage, have problems in relationship. Now, with respect to this, I want to just show you what it means to become intimate. In this context, we have 3 or 4 layers of how we connect with an individual. The first layer is the superficial layer, where you do the small talk, where you ask how's the weather, the situation is great, and it's necessary. You are going to oil your relationships with small talk, right? You're going to check on how you're doing, how was your weekend. That's important, it's necessary, but it is a superficial layer in terms of the depth of the relationship. Let's go to the second layer, which is the intimate, where you're able to share your feelings, you're able to ask about their well-being, you're getting information of what goes on in their lives, and you start become more connected with that person. The third layer is the personal, where you get a little more information. Now the person, and depending on which relationship it is, say someone at office, you reach that level of comfort, you don't even mind sharing your confidential data with them, because they'll give you a perspective of how to run the business. They'll give you an insight on what has to be done. In terms of a personal life, it's someone you don't mind sharing your username and password with that person. That's how we define that now we're becoming personal. And then the last layer is the core. And the core is when you're able to have a conversation about your source with anyone. If you're able to talk about higher stages of consciousness, recognizing that person as a soul. Now, every conversation needn't be that deep, right? That's what we say, oh, this conversation was too deep for me. Don't we often say that? But when you reach that stage where you can connect at that level, that is the deepest level of intimacy that you can have. Because that is a real connection you can forge. So as you evolve, as you rise on your stages of consciousness, and as you have now determined that I want to be more aware, I want to rise in terms of my awareness and understanding of the world and people and situations in my life. So I want to choose and create consciously. So invest in relationships where you can go really deep. That's where your investment, your personal choice should be. I'm not saying all the others will drop off. I'm not at all saying that. But if you have a choice, where should I spend my next weekend? How should I spend my holiday? Where do I want to spend my birthday? Where I want to spend Jan 1st? It has to be on your growth, on connecting to yourself. Else, we are slipping back in ignorance. I'm just putting this in perspective that what relationships were meant to be. All relationships were meant to enhance you. The purpose of marriage was to awaken you. The male and the female, the Shiv and the Shakti of the marriage was to awaken each other. They were called soulmates for a reason. So if your soulmate is not in your marital relationship, relationship but outside, someone who's broken your life apart, or someone you're choosing to have a conversation with so that you can grow. Not using the word soulmate now, your soul friend. Look for soul friends. And that is your biggest strength in terms of building self-love for yourself. Because love flows from source. You don't have to do anything for self-love. For self-regulation, there were lots of hacks, which I called facts. But for self-love, what do? You just have to peel the layer and go deeper to realize who you are. And if you can't do it yourself, allow a relationship to enhance you in that perspective.